answering my question though.
Well, no,
what are the biggest risks?
Well, it depends on the technologies, right?
So what would be the biggest risks in that context, do you think?
Well, I don't see any risks on that. I see huge upside for New Zealand. I think the biggest risk is us actually not adopting our technologies and getting them up to speed and dragging New Zealand into the 21st century. That's the much bigger risk.
Are there any occasions in which the introduction of GMOs has had unintended consequences?
No. I mean, there's a lot of people will be scaremongering and saying, is there crop contamination? No. There's actually been 100 times the land size of New Zealand planted in genetic crops. There's been no contamination. There's organic producers, say in California, they've never lost their licenses. That doesn't happen.
In Oregon, I see a genetically modified grass seed escaped its containment area and spread over quite a large area, effectively threatening $1 billion industry.
Yeah, but what I'd say to you really clearly is that's a very good example to me, which is that here we have a piece of research in New Zealand. Ag Research developed a ryegrass. It actually has a 23% lower emissions profile and is much more drought resistant. That technology is developed here in New Zealand but can't be trialled outside of the lab, and as a result is taken to the US for trials. That's a tool or a technology we desperately need to do in order to meet our climate goals that we've got and to deal with agricultural emissions, which is a real challenge for New Zealand.
But I asked you before if there are any occasions when the introduction of GMOs has had unintended consequences, and you acknowledge there are.
Well, no, what I'd say to you is...
I just gave you an example.
Well, there are risks, but what I'm saying is those risks are going to be incredibly well managed, conservatively, with a good regulator. But the bigger risk is that we are getting well left behind. We're not solving the problems.
Again, though, you're just not acknowledging my question there. You're not answering the question I'm asking, which is, do you acknowledge there have been unintended consequences in the past with the introduction of GMOs?
I personally, Jack, I do not feel that the risks are outweigh.
Do you acknowledge there have been unintended consequences?
There may have been, but I cannot think of any examples of crop contamination. I cannot think of any examples.
Except for the one I just gave you.
The GM DNA comes through in meat, eggs or milk. I can tell you that doesn't happen. And to be able to march agricultural emissions down, that's incredibly exciting. We have a number of